Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Brother Jonas. I'm trying to make a rough draft on black economics and black wealth creation. And this is something that most of us blacks misunderstood. And I mean, being black too, you know what I mean? I'm just learning about these stuff right now. And thank God I have some people that's guiding me and teaching me certain things because I was ignorant about it. I was like giving up things that was true wealth, biblical wealth, like let you say in Genesis chapter 13, verses 2, about Abraham was wealthy in cattle, gold, silver, and land. And Isaac was also wealthy in Genesis 26, verses 12 and 13. They said he was wealthy in gold and silver and cattle also. And also Jacob in Genesis chapter 30, verses 43, said that he was wealthy. And the thing is, we've confused wealth on commodity versus wealth versus money. Now, there's a difference between commodity money and fiat money. Now, fiat money is government money, like the U.S. Treasury, that the U.S. Mint that prints out money. But those currency that they have no value. Now, when you're looking at commodity is money that has value. You can take gold, which is gold, silver, oil, cattle, coffee, tobacco, diamonds, and all of these things can be sold because they are value. You can buy them and you can resell them. And this is where our people, especially me being Haitian, a lot of Haitians, we flee Haiti to come right here in America. And what it happens is that we leave all of those wealth and we come here, and guess what we come to do? We leave our house in Haiti. We come here, guess what? We work to buy houses and we are paying taxes and we are in debt of. We finances these houses and we be in debt. We leave Haiti, where we had cattle, and we come right here. We go into the supermarket and buying meat and chicken and stuff like that. We leave Haiti, our corns and sugar canes and stuff like that, and we come here in America trying to buy sugar and all that kind of stuff. So it shows you, like and say in Isaiah 4 verses 6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And commodity, like I said, is more the supply. Now, for us to understand this, we have to go to the basic structure, or what you call a basic social study. Now, social study is based on two things: needs and wants. Wants are things that we can live without. Like purses, like Chanel, Prada, Jordans, cable, internet, rims, Lexus, boats. But needs are things that we can live with, we can't live without. And for example, water. Everything on life needs water. Food. Everything in life on this earth needs food. Shelter. When rain comes, everything, whether what animal it is trying to find shelter. We trying to find shelter to sleep, and we also trying to find shelter to protect ourselves. We also need clothes. So these are the needs versus the wants. But what we see today in our people, you see more people, black people are spending, especially in hip hop videos. You see that we spend more things on drinking and clubbing and buying rims and cars and stuff like that, liabilities, instead of investing in things that we need. Like shelter would have been house. You know what I mean? We should have been investing in houses. And I'm going to get to that really soon. Now, to understand this economics, there's how economic runs. Now, there's a thing called supply and demand. Now, the supply are the products. And when we're talking about commodity, that's what we're talking about, where the wealth is. And this is where our people lacking that. We own nothing. So the supply is the products, the goods and the services. You see what I'm saying? And the demands are us, who are the consumers, the customers, and the buyers. Now, you understand when we come to inflation, we talking about the stock market and the global market, how the market runs. You notice that those who control the supply control the demand. So when you own the supplies, you can sell the supply at any price that you want. I remember back in the 90s that you would buy a loaf of bread for 25 cents. I remember gas was like 99 cents. Now today we're looking at gas at $3. So don't matter how much the supply increase, The demand have to go according to what the supplier is giving to them. Now, an example of a good supplier is Walmart. Walmart sells water, they sell food, they sell shelters, and they sell clothes. And business is based on goods and services. Now, when we talking about, I said black do not own neither. Now, when we talk about our people, there is approximately 47 million blacks in America. Now, if you would look at it on a weekly basis, there's $10 being given to these 47 million blacks in America. You have had approximately $10 times 47 million would give you $470 million. Now, if you multiply this times 4 weeks, you would have $1,880 billion. So, $1,880 million. Now, if you multiply that times 12, that's a lot of money. We're looking at like $16 billion per year. Now, this proved that black people do have the currency, but we lack the knowledge how to invest. And the biggest problem that we have is us. And when we start learning how to invest in us, like if we start knowing how to go back to Haiti, and we always blame it in the hood and all that kind of stuff, how unsafe the hoods are, how unsafe the schools are. We go to the suburbs and stuff like that. But if you start looking at today's in these news, you start seeing there's a lot of shootings in the suburbs. Why leave the black community where you can buy a house for 10,000, 20,000, 30, 40,000 more cheap houses and then go and move to the suburbs? I don't know, man. I think our people are lacking the knowledge of understanding what wealth is. And wealth is in commodity. Those who owns the goods and the services and owns the supply owns the world. Henry Kissinger says this: the person who controls the oil controls the nation, but the person who controls the food controls the world. And that's why we as black people are still being enslaved. We got this big old continent in Africa, has all of these resources, but guess what? Here we are, still being enslaved, always begging. We got to change our minds, man. We got to go back to the knowledge. And yeah, we have all these brothers arguing all the time, these brothers from the Kemetic, the Moors and all that stuff, the black Hebrew Israelites. But we not going back to the tradition, man. Instead of arguing what is wrong with the Bible, let's go back what is right about the Bible. Let's look at the thing. Let's go back to the Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob knowledge. These guys used to own things. Let's go back to the old Haitians back in the 60s, in the 70s and 80s that was working on the earth. This is why today Haiti is in such dire poverty. You looking at all these Haitians in Port-au-Prince, man, they don't want to go back to their land. They don't want to go back to cultivate the land. Come on, let's change, man. Let's change. Anon leve nan dormi an peuple haïtien. Anon retourner back nan terre yo, travail terre yo, cultiver terre yo. Come on, my brothers. This is Brother Jonas. Hey, shalom. Alakim.